Wildcats picking up the win in that game.
A nice punt down at the 39-yard line as Austin Davidson, sure-handed senior, makes the grab. I didn't watch much of that game. I watched that Wake Forest-Tulane game.
Oh, another good game.
Overtime.
Another good game. Who would have – the Green Wave? How'd you like the new helmets the Green Wave had going on?
I think I've seen in a while. Of course, my Rebels break out tomorrow with the solid whites for the first time in school history. So it's going to be interesting to see white on white on white. We've never really done that. So the traditional fans, of course, not very happy to see the Rebs breaking away from the powder navy blue. But oh, well. 1st and 10 Cats.
Third offensive possession of the second half for Virginia High.
Snap and a handoff, music playing over the PA, and the Bearcats offense out on the field. A short gain on the play. I don't know if that was just a glitch in the system or what, but yeah.
We had the chicken dance going on there.
It was a short no gain really on the play. It's 2nd down and 10. That's rare.
It caused a lot of confusion throughout the stadium, I think.
Somebody stood up and was actually doing the chicken dance. I was more concerned whether we was about to jump, false start or something. 2:23 on the clock as Lathrop drops straight back on 2nd down and 10. Plenty of time. Breaks through one tackle as he steps out of it. Now trying to scramble, jukes a man, and spins forward, and he's brought down at the 38-yard line. He's sacked, really, for a loss of 1. It'll bring up make that 3rd down and 11.
As the sophomore Shannon Sabak getting in and getting that tackle, getting the sack there for John Battle. So now we're back to that. This is the bust part of the boom or bust offense for the Bearcats. Their 3rd drive here in the 3rd quarter, and so far nothing doing as they're behind the sticks on 3rd down.
We have time on the field, a injured player.
That's Seth Scarborough down for the
one of the top
Trojans.
backers for John Battle. It's 3rd down and 11, and we have a timeout, an official timeout called. As with that break, we'll go to Travis for a sponsor read.
Hey, fans, so you've cut back on everything from lattes to lunches, but if you're still coming up short at the end of the month, try this. Give State Farm agent Barbara Williams in Bristol a call for a free discount double check. She'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies could save you hundreds of dollars a year. Because being there to help keep more of your money in your pocket is why State Farm agent Barbara Williams is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Scarborough slowly and gingerly stepping out near midfield, trying to get back to the sideline of John Battle, not putting a lot of weight on his right foot, and that's a big injury for Battle if he's not able to play at full strength. He's one of the top backers in this defense for the Trojans.
Fans, also be sure to visit State Line Motors if you're in the market for a new ride. State Line Motors view their inventory online at StatelineMotorsVA.com.
1:45 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. Cats 14, John Battle 7. 3rd down and 11 for Virginia High. Got to get it to the 50. Ball's at the 39-yard line. See if we can come up with another big 3rd down conversion. 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right. As Lathrop looks like he's just going to run a straight read option. Kind of stopped and pitched early, didn't even sort of stretch the play, and the ball's loose, fumbled by the Trojans, and they're acting like they recovered. And they whistled and signaled, and John Battle has recovered a fumble here late in the 3rd quarter as Stevie Thomas, the freshman, over near that John Battle sideline, lost the football late in that sequence, and it wasn't really sold very well by Jamie. He ran off a couple of feet to his left, pitched with his left hand, didn't sell that he was ever going to take the football.
Bad time for a turnover, too, and deep. Going to give Battle, you've pinned them up on their first 3 possessions of this second half, kept them from doing anything offensively. One thing you didn't want to do was give them the ball down in their plus territory. They're going to take over at the Bearcat 35.
Especially the way the defense have been playing.
Yep.
Now you've put them on a short field. You've put the Battle offense on a short field. The quick turnaround, Battle rushes another man out. 2 seconds on the clock. They have to call a timeout, as they called it with a second on the play clock. And it is their first of the second half. It was a quick turnaround, but that's pretty inexcusable, really, in a tight game.
It is, but we've seen this before, especially at the high school level. You know, in some of the other games we've done, and it is tough, man. That quick turnaround. If you're not, it's hard to get ready for that.
There's
it's
no
hard to get everybody on the same
out.
page. Yep.
Yeah, you just got to go.
You got guys playing both ways, so get them.
We talk about the pace of play in a lot of other sports, but maybe football we could slow it down a little bit. High school football seems like goes by like in a blur.
It does. You and I talked on the way home from Tazewell last night. My head was spinning.
We were exhausted.
I mean, I was just worn out.
There's something about a football broadcast, too. It just kind of takes more out of you, I think. But
now, tonight, moving a little bit slower, but
still.
Here in this case in point on the turnover, that's the first turnover of the night, by the way, for either team. So, Battle takes over on the Bearcat side of the 50.
Yeah, down to the 34-yard line. It's Battle football after the Stevie Thomas fumble, and it is the first turnover of the afternoon. 1st and 10, John Battle after the timeout called by the Trojans. 1:23 on the clock in the third period. They'll go with that straightaway run. This time Judge Schaefer right up the middle.
Again, 5 yards.
And another solid 5. And like you said, early in the game they were able to get to the edge and do some things. But right here in the second half and late through the first half, they were able to go right through the heart of this Bearcat defense. And that time, 5. And it's 2nd down and 5 from the 30.
It's early in the season, yet still plenty of things to work on. But, thinking back to last week, Tazewell also was able to pretty much penetrate the Bearcat front right down the middle.
Pistol set for the Trojans. They'll put a man in motion, and the Cats miss a couple of tackles in the backfield. Judd working off of a block down inside the 20 to the 16-yard line as he's shoved out of bounds. 43 seconds on the clock, and Battle is in the red zone.
Good block out there on the corner by John Battle. Number 1, Anthony Childress III. He's the senior. He really got a good block out on the edge to set that play up. Cats had a chance in the backfield, had 2 guys get their hands on him, but nobody able to bring him down. 1st and 10 now for the Trojans from the 16-yard line.
Snap, they'll hand off inside to Judd, and that time he nearly breaks through the tackle, but he's brought down by Joseph Kennedy, the left end. 20 seconds on the clock. It brings 2 yards on the carry. It's 2nd down and 8 as he gets it down near the 15.
Good job by Kennedy to just wrap up and hang on. He still picks up positive yardage on the play, but it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7 as we're going to come in on the end of the third quarter in what has been a pretty exciting ball game so far.
We head to the fourth. 14-7 Cats lead it, but John Battle 2nd down and 8 on the 14-yard line in the red zone, and we'll get Ryan over here, get ready to get his take on what's going on, what's the mood down on the sideline, and let's go down there to Ryan Bradley. How's it going down there, Ryan?
So far it's looking like they're getting momentum. Finally, I think they need to get a stop right here and get the ball back in the end zone. I think the game's theirs.
How much did the mood change after that fumble there on the sideline?
I don't think it changed much. They still have the same energy. They're not down. They're pumped up. They're ready to get the ball back and get the offense back on the field.
What do you think the defense? You think they got another stop left in them?
Yeah, I think they do.
We'll see if they can get that stop. Let's take a commercial break. We'll be back here in just a second.
You're listening to Virginia High Bearcat football on Spreaker Radio.
Welcome back to it here at Gene Malcolm. We start the fourth quarter. We flip sides of the field. We're down near the flagpole side as John Battle is in the red zone.
Got an update on one game. The Bears of Union now lead Richlands 28-21 halfway through the third quarter.
So Union there. Nice score update here as we start the fourth quarter with a carry by Judge Schaefer, and he falls forward. There is some laundry on the play as they throw line judge down on the far left side, throws a flag down in between the 14 and 13 markers, 14 and 13-yard markers.
Looks like it's going to be an illegal motion of some type on the Battle offense.
They're conversing out in the middle in between the hashes. What a crowd while we got this little break in action.
Oh, man, yeah. This stadium is packed on both sides of the field. Battle bringing a great crowd with them, the home crowd here on Virginia High. Boy, and they're seeing a good ball game. The end zone seating is full. Okay, so they're going to wave that flag off. It must have been an alignment penalty. Question if they had enough man maybe on the line of scrimmage there.
And, we'll be packed next week, too. Heading to the Stone Castle for the 102nd edition of the VT game between the Bearcats and the Vikings of Tennessee High. 7:30 kick. We'll go live at 7 o'clock on Spreaker.com/Bearcat Radio.
Second game of the, as we are calling it here, the Battle of Bristol series. We're taking on our
It really is.
opponents to the east tonight, and then we'll be taking off our opponents to the west next Friday night on the road. Battle hustling to the line. 3 seconds left on the snap clock.
Down. There's a snap. They hand it straight up the middle. Judd inside. Schaefer falls forward, and a touchdown for John Battle as he fell into the end zone, extended, and scored the touchdown. And John Battle an extra point away from tying things up here with 11:21 to go in the fourth period. So it was from 8 yards or from 12 yards out.
That turnover really dooming the Bearcats there. You know, they had all the momentum so far in this second half, turned the ball over deep in their own end, set Battle up in perfect situation, allow them in to score. Battle now lining up for the extra point. Got a man running on late. Preston Hensley almost missing his assignment. He gets out there. There's the count, the snap, the hold, the kick. It's up, and it is
Flag. Had a flag. The kick looked like it was good, but we do have a penalty on the play. Is it offsides or a false start? It's encroachment.
It's good encroachment on the Cats.
What do you do now if you're Battle?
Well, I never seen a signal from the back judge on whether the kick was actually any good or not. So, and I believe that's what the coaches are Battle are wondering.
Yeah,
now they're you're half the distance to the goal. Now are you going to go for
that's
two?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you're a triple option team. Maybe they're asking now if the field goal was good.
Yeah, they're trying to find out. Nobody signaled whether the kick was actually any good or not.
So that was odd anyway, but it hit right near the flagpole, right near the foot of the flagpole, because one of the kids back there caught the ball. So an important penalty nonetheless. They're going to
go for two,
play clock, and the John Battle's going to line up and act like they're going to go for two. Now, Coach Christ, as they've moved the ball up to, the 1 yard line, right at the one. There's 14 seconds on the clock, so John Battle's going to try to take the lead here. See if the Bearcat defense can get a stop. Schaefer in the backfield. They'll snap handoff, fake the handoff to Schaefer. Pitch out wide. It's fumbled, and the Cats recover. And we hold on to a lead by 1 point, 14-13.
Now that things have kind of slowed down, let's talk about that play call for a second. You took the point off the board, we think. We think the kick was good.
So you had a tie game at least, and now you've cut it to a 1 point game. But, you're in a game that maybe you didn't expect you to be in. Of course, if you go down there and ask them, they're going to say, we expected to be in tonight's game. Of course, you never know. It's a rivalry series. It's not all that close usually.
Right.
But, last year they hung around. It was a 35-14 win for Virginia High over on Battle Hill, but it was a late score by Virginia
True.
High.
Just like what we were talking about, in some of our college picks there at halftime, if you're going to win a game that you may not, really be expected to win, you're going to have to take some chances. They did there, and luckily for the Bearcats, they hold on, and they still got a 1 point lead. 11 minutes remaining in this ball game, 14-13. Bearcats, they're getting ready to get the ball back.
I do agree, though. If you made the field goal and you've got the game tied, do you even take the risk? I understand if you missed, you might want to go for two just because you feel like you're playing with house money.
Again, I know I said we're not going to harp on the officials this season, but there was some confusion. Just like we up here in the box, the Battle coaching staff, they didn't know, was the kick good? Nobody ever signaled. The flag come down, and it was an encroachment penalty, so it wasn't a pre-snap penalty, okay? So they should have signaled that and at least gave them some idea whether we think they took the point off the board.
Yeah, nonetheless, John Battle with the State Line Motors kickoff. Cats lead 14-13 after the missed 2 point conversion. The Cats got the stop on. This is Davidson on the return, weaving up past the 30, and he stood up at the 31. And after a couple of more hits, he gets out to the 32-yard line, and that's where Jamie Lathrop and the Bearcat offense will start the fourth quarter of action. 11-14 on the clock, nursing a 1 point lead. And if there's anything this team is used to, being up by one possession with about 11 minutes to go in the ball game, because we were in this same spot 8 days ago.
We were, yep. We were. It was an exciting game over in Tazewell. Looks like we're going to have another barn burner here tonight in Bristol. As you mentioned, under 12 minutes remaining in the ball game. Cats still holding on to lead, 14-13. First down, Virginia High from their own 31-yard line.
4 wide for the Bearcats. Rose in the backfield. They'll hand it off straight away. Rose with a burst out past the 35. He runs forward for about 4, maybe 5 yards. We'll give him 4 on the carry. It'll bring up second down and 6.
Well, we see a steady dose of Rose here to try to take a little bit of time off the running clock here in the fourth quarter.
I think so. You're at the, you got the break right there to start the third. They had the quick score, so he's got a little bit of energy. Of course, he's a well-conditioned athlete for us, but he's been the main horse on defense as well, so you got to sort of mix it up. But you also got to go back to the Stevie Thomas fumble, and how much do you trust him now after